Tonight on Evening.
I'm St. Brian in Seattle, just in time for the grand opening of the new Waterfront Park, a new book that looks at the colorful and complex history of the place where the city meets the sound.
I'm Jose, coming to you from the Pike Place Market, where you can find performers bringing art and music to this iconic spot.
And the Northwest town where cowboys drive cattle down Main Street once a year. It is the perfect evening to toast to 25 years here at Willows Lodge in Woodinville. In fact, they're getting ready for the Silver Soiree a little bit later this month. Hey there, it's Chris Cashman. Hard to believe that 25 years ago, this was just a quiet, sleepy valley. And here we are a couple of decades later, and Willows Lodge is quite literally at the center of the Washington Wine District. At 25 years old, silver, stylish, and still pouring, Willows Lodge is serenity with a front row seat to Woodinville's boom.
Willows Lodge, I still think, is a hidden gem in the Pacific Northwest and the Seattle community. You know, our flag got put in the ground when St. Michel was built across the street. Our owners, had a lot of foresight into what was coming, and I think has been a hidden gem. Not so hidden anymore, but...
Willows Lodge is more like a cozy campus with spots to reflect, soak, and steam, and an elegant spa tucked into lush property that's suddenly surrounded by top tastes.
Willows is a really unique place because within the grounds of Willows Lodge, we have the old Red Hook Brewery behind us, and now that's been developed into 6 different wineries. So we have some great partners that you can literally walk to out of our front door, 200 yards away. You could be in one of 6 different tasting rooms that I think is probably the best collection of Washington wineries we have in Woodinville.
And when it comes to food,
so we got really lucky. We found a chef, Lyle Kaku.
History and heritage with familiar fare, but a new chef at the helm.
And he was from Hawaii. So I would say Chef Lyle has definitely elevated the experience in the Barking Frog by bringing his own personality into the menus.
Willows Lodge is the kind of place where if the walls could talk, they would tell you to relax. And the most popular reading material is the wine list. Since 2000, Willows Lodge for wine lovers, food lovers, and anyone looking to get away without going very far. Yes, timing is everything. This would be a great time to swing by Willows Lodge. They've got some rollback prices in Barking Frog, some of the spa services as well. Tickets and info on that Silver Soiree coming up September 21st at king5evening.com. All right, big weekend ahead on Seattle's Waterfront, the latest chapter in the colorful history of Seattle's waterfront. We've got a brand new grand opening, our Waterfront Park, 20 acres, and it comes with a lot of history. They wrote a book about it, and St. Brian met up with the author.
Hey, and here is the book, Where the City Meets the Sound. In its 200 pages full of all kinds of illustrations, we learn that the history of the waterfront mirrors that of the city itself.
This is Seattle's newest front porch, 20 acres of reclaimed waterfront, where the shoreline laps against the city in the most playful way yet.
It's amazing. It's just absolutely beautiful, and it's very meaningful.
Jennifer Ott, the executive director of History Link, has written the book on Seattle's waterfront. Where the City Meets the Sound begins with the Ice Age, when a sheet of ice 5 times taller than the Space Needle eventually left behind steep hills, tumbling down to a deep natural harbor. For thousands of years, this was a gathering place for native people, but by the 1850s, drawn by an abundance of natural resources, new people arrived.
I think it's amazing that the first non-native settlers had the imagination to say this could be a city, because the steep hills, all of the challenges of this place would have discouraged me.
Seattle would struggle with its identity, banning native people, the Chinese, marching Japanese Americans from Coleman Dock to incarceration camps during World War II.
We need people in order to help us build and maintain our city, but at the same time there is a segment of the community that really wants to push anybody that's not white out.
Waterfront is also a place for dreamers. 1897 brought the Klondike Gold Rush and the city exploded.
It's just boom, it's crazy.
And then there was Ivor Haglund, who turned the working waterfront into a tourist attraction.
He was just such a showman, and he just knew how to grab people's attention.
He staged fights with an octopus and pushed seals around in a baby carriage. At Pier 56, Ted Griffin notoriously put on shows with Namu, an orca whale he captured.
And it was a cultural phenomenon. There had not been orcas in captivity.
By the 60s, the waterfront was Seattle's back alley, home to a noisy concrete viaduct that cut the city off from its shore. It wasn't until an earthquake hit in 2001 that the city replaced the eyesore with a $3 billion tunnel.
We definitely have a front porch again. It's even better than I thought it was going to be. It's even more welcoming.
Once again, the Seattle waterfront is a place for people to gather.
And that's been the history of the waterfront for thousands of years.
Jennifer's book, Where the City Meets the Sound, the story of Seattle's waterfront, will be published on September 16th, so you can reserve your copy now. Also, historylink.org offers self-guided tours of the waterfront. We've got all the links you need on our website at king5evening.com.
Thank you, Saint. Great weekend to join your friends at the grand opening of the new 20-acre waterfront park. From 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., you'll find live music all day at Pier 62, Pier 58, and along the park promenade. There will be 2 community parades between Pier 62 and Railroad Way South, youth dance showcases and pop-up street performances, as well as tasty bites and sips. Yeah, be a part of history as the city of Seattle meets the shoreline in a huge celebration. Speaking of celebration, your Seattle Mariners are hosting College Night on September 12th. A couple of the players actually got schooled by a couple of actual Mariners. We decided to tag along to see if ball players can be seafarers. They call themselves Mariners. But what do they know about the work of these kinds of Mariners?
Hey, Ems, we're fans. This season,
Dale Bateman, Dean of the Seattle Maritime Academy, threw down a challenge.
bring your true Mariner skill over here to Seattle Maritime Academy and show us what you got.
Dale, challenge accepted.
Manager Dan Wilson and pitcher Tyler Saucedo have agreed to get in the game.
I mean, I don't know anything about boats.
Action, action, action.
Their efforts are being filmed by video director Barry Collier.
Okay, so Taylor, back up a hair then.
To be shown on T-Mobile Park's big screen.
I'm a little terrified about my head, 100 feet tall and 40 feet wide.
Not only that, everyone has to do some acting here under challenging conditions.
We'll see how they do.
It's hot down there in that engine, I know that.
Because they're good athletes, they should be able to adapt to it.
The stunt work can be challenging.
I'd say getting up the stairs for me. Those things are tricky.
And the acting.
I think baseball's easier.
Much easier.
Yeah.
The production is a mental workout.
Yeah, remembering my lines, that's for sure.
Be careful, Dale. Oh! That's okay, wait just a hair.
The baseball Mariners are supporting the Seafaring Mariners as a part of their Stay in the Game campaign for students of Seattle colleges.
Training the next generation of mariners.
Pretty cool stuff.
It may be the last time you'll spot these two on a boat.
I think we'll just stay on the land.
Again, the 2025 College Night comes up September 12th as the Mariners host the Los Angeles Angels. There are discounted tickets for college students as well as a pregame happy hour. But no, don't bring them your laundry, kids. It's Yellowstone in the Pacific Northwest, why cowboys drive cattle through the streets of this town. And Cisco's Plant of the Month for September.
Local stories make a difference.
That's good.
With the power to enrich lives, strengthen communities, and make us smile. Evening is made possible by Primera Blue Cross. Primera Blue Cross, always in your corner.
And welcome back to Evening. I'm Chris Cashman, and greetings from Willows Lodge here in Woodinville, where they are celebrating 25 years. They've got their silver soiree coming up a little bit later this month. Meanwhile, the Washington State Fair, you know, it kicked off August 29th. They started without you, and they have a tradition that is also a quarter century old, a cattle drive right through downtown Puyallup, and that's no bull.
What is happening? They're just gonna let cattle run down the middle of the street? Yeah, they are. This is our annual cattle drive and parade. This is very unique. This doesn't happen in many parts of the country. Welcome, welcome, come on in. It starts right here with the rodeo breakfast.
This is the Cowboy Breakfast, promoting the Washington State Fair and Puyallup Rodeo.
So everybody's up and down, getting ready to watch a parade, and the truck pulls up. It backs up onto the street, it rolls the door open, and cowboys lead out these cattle. They're not on leashes, they're not on ropes, they're free range.
One year, some of the cattle went into one of the stores down there farther. Okay.
Caution tape in there just to keep the people off the street when the cattle come down.
They just trot all the way through downtown Puyallup and they lead the rest of the parade. It's so cool. It's such a neat way to bring the community together. The Washington State Fair is the largest fair in the smallest town in the world. And that's not something that anybody else can say.
Looks like a good time. This year's Cowboy Breakfast and Cattle Drive, Saturday, September 5th. Of course, the breakfast is going to be 8 a.m. The bull's going to be running at 10 a.m. Sounds like a good time. Yeehaw, go check it out. Speaking of cowboys, everybody's favorite, Master Gardener Cisco Morris is back, and here's the plant he says you must have in your garden for September.
So I just put in this brand new landscape right here, and I needed the perfect plant to go with this spectacular coneflower. And I found my plant of my life here. This is Heuchera Black Forest Cake. First time I've ever seen it. It's brand new in the nurseries. One thing about it, this beautiful black color that should stay really nice all winter long. But even more exciting, look at the flowers on that. You know who's gonna like those? These are a hummingbird favorite, so oh la la, this is gonna be a lot of fun. All right, time for the heavy artillery here. Okay, now I've got a spot right here that I planted something, but it was too wimpy and it died. Alas, poor Yorick. Time for you to go to work here, Black Forest Cake. Break these roots up a bit. Oh, perfect. Oh, is that gonna look good? The only thing you gotta remember, never plant any plant except for something like a tomato any deeper than it came out of the pot, because there's not enough air in the soil down deeper. So there's just one last thing I need to do, and it's really important, even if you planted this on a rainy day, and that is never forget to water it in. That'll get rid of all those air pockets that are in there around the roots and really nestle it in there, and it'll be here for years to come. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. That just made this whole landscape perfect.
Thank you, Cisco. Black Forest Cake Heuchera. Sounds delicious. I bet if I look close, I can even find one somewhere here on the grounds of Willows Lodge. The grounds are immaculate.
Don't miss your chance to see the work of China's most famous artist here in the Northwest.
Ai Weiwei will never explain his artwork,
but we'll explain where you can find it.
And welcome back to Evening from Willows Lodge in Woodinville, celebrating 25 years. They've got their Silver Soiree coming up a little bit later this month. This is a calm, peaceful place, a cozy little pocket here in the Woodinville Valley. But don't get too comfortable. In fact, prepare yourself for some disruption, because that's what China's most famous artist, Ai Weiwei, is known for. And this is your last chance to see his provocative artwork on display at the Seattle Art Museum.
A sculpture made out of bicycle parts, a self-portrait made out of thousands of Legos, and a circle of animal heads inspired by the Chinese zodiac. Just some of more than 100 works you'll see in the SAM exhibition, I Rebel, the art and activism of Ai Weiwei.
Ai Weiwei will never explain his artwork. That's not something he does.
Feng Ping, Sam's curator of Chinese art, organized the 40-year retrospective into 2 parts. Part 1 is called Material Disruptions.
Weiwei is the kind of artist for whom there is no boundaries for what he considers to be art materials. You see right next to me here an enormous sculpture made out of bicycle parts. So bicycles become utterly useless in Ai Weiwei's hands, but become also beautiful, very interesting sculptures. Also, we see porcelain sculptures in the shape of sunflower seeds.
The second part of the Weiwei exhibition covers the artist's activism.
He would not think of himself as necessarily a troublemaker, but just somebody in search of transparency.
A snake made up of children's backpacks symbolizes thousands of school kids killed during an earthquake. Weiwei often challenged the Chinese government, and here you'll find a life-size replica of the room where he was detained.
And for 81 days, his family did not know where he was.
Most talked about are the images created out of Legos. It's a challenging exhibition that dares you to turn off your brain.
I think you can engage with it in many different ways. That's pretty is a totally valid response, because some of this material is so amazing. Visually, they're spectacular, and you can enjoy it that way for sure.
Last call to see the exhibit, I Rebel, the art and activism of Ai Weiwei, runs through September 7th at the Seattle Art Museum.
Up next, Busker Palooza. Take a musical tour of Pike Place Market with Jose.
Got someone to call.
Now in our 40th season, Evening shares local stories that make our communities shine. Thanks to support from Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
And welcome back to Evening from Willows Lodge in Woodinville, where they are celebrating 25 years. They've got a silver soiree coming up a little bit later this month. And speaking of heritage, Seattle's Pike Place Market, a great place to go shopping, get something to eat, entertain your friends. But as Jose found out, it's an even better place to take in some music.
It's a must-stop spot when you visit Seattle. Without a doubt, there's many fun things to do in this busy and iconic market.
Yeah, we gonna bust.
Buskin' is one of them.
Pike Place is the most quintessential busking spot in Seattle.
But now you cry, now you grin, now you're out.
My name's Robert Leslie. I'm a busker, and I have been for quite some time. A busker is anyone who goes out in public and exchanges their talent for tips. This is the first place that I played at when I came to Seattle, and I still play here all the time. Every day that you go out, what you give out is what you get. No one knows you, and you have a chance to connect with people in a completely fresh way.
It's a little nerve-wracking at first, but this is Seattle, they love music. I'm just gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it.
Maybe it's me, maybe I'm just that me.
Doing like a little acoustic set.
My mental health.
To really get out here and just like be with the people. So I'm here for the entire experience. You come here to shop and see the sights, but then you just hear music.
There is something about walking here and discovering.
When you're feeling overwhelmed by the constant flux of life.
What makes Pike Place so magical is that there's always a different flow of energy, there's always different people. Everyone's been very for music and for buskers. It just creates a really great environment to creatively express yourself. There's a lot of history to it.
And it's not just the outdoors where you can find the performers, because they also have spots like the Rabbit Box where the music keeps playing. On this night, the festival Buscarama was happening. What's clear to me is the music will keep playing at this market for generations to come.
Remember when you fall, you've got someone to call.
Go busk, get out there, go sing in public, it's fun.
Very cool. You know, some of the biggest names in music got their start busking at Pike Place Market, like Brandy Carlisle, or of course Seattle's Spoon Man. File that away. All right, our thanks to Willows Lodge here for hosting us tonight. They are celebrating 25 years. They've got a silver soiree coming up on September 21st. They've got some rollback prices all month long. More info right there on our website, king5evening.com. We'll see you next time. I'd hate for the spa to go to waste, you know what I mean? It's like, I might as well, since I'm here, make it a staycation.